welcome back to the channel. Food. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe with flag videos like this.
Alright, so what's the chip thing in the hand?
So anybody who scans their hand who comes in has an Amazon One account. And if they have an Amazon One account, it's going to whatever could be linked to their Amazon account profile. Whereas anybody who's inserting a card here is actually coming into the Hudson store, even though they're technically the same store.
And there's only, what, 4 in the United States?
There's only 4 Amazon Just Walk Out stores in just the United States. They've opened up a few new Go Fresh stores, so you can still use alternative payments there. But for Just Walk Out, Walk In technology, it's just the 4. One's going to be in New York, one's in Los Angeles, one's going to be in Chicago, and one's right here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Fantastic, perfect. Thank you so much.
This terrifying clip has over 70 million views. And when you hear why, you'll understand. A girl named Mariana posted this video. It was a Friday night. She and her friends were vlogging while waiting in the car for another friend to arrive. Everything seemed totally normal. Until they got a text message. It said, "I'm almost there, and Anna's with me. I convinced her to come too." The problem? Anna was already sitting in the back seat. You can actually see the moment it hits them. Their smiles fade, their faces freeze, and the camera starts shaking. They said they didn't dare say a word to Anna. Because according to an old superstition, if you ever meet your double, you must never let it know you've recognized it. Some people in the comments think it was just a glitch. Others say something much darker was happening that night. Either way, no one's seen the real Anna since.
The Simpsons predicted Zealandia, a massive piece of land that was once part of the ancient supercontinent Gondwana. In the episode, a mysterious landmass emerged from the ocean near New Zealand, surrounded by swirling clouds and strange shadows, as if hiding a secret. At the time, everyone laughed, scientists called it impossible, and people dismissed it as a joke. But centuries later, geologists and satellite imaging revealed the truth: Zealandia is real. It spans 1.89 million square miles, yet 94% of it lies underwater, hidden beneath waves for millions of years. Its rugged underwater mountains, deep valleys, and rare rock formations suggest it was once a thriving landmass connected to Australia, Antarctica, and South America before drifting apart. First spotted by Dutch explorer Abel Tasman in the 1700s, it has now been officially recognized as the world's 8th continent, a lost world forgotten by time resurfacing in our oceans. Scientists now believe Zealandia holds clues to Earth's past, ancient climates, tectonic shifts, and vanished ecosystems, proving how little we truly know about our own planet.
I don't know what the heck I did wrong. I did exactly as the directions said. I made 2 rights and 1 left, and somehow, this is not my therapist's office. The heck, how did I end up back? Guess we got a ride.
That looks like the next Netflix tragedy documentary.
I am not letting anyone on God's green earth try to gaslight me into thinking that these are natural aurora lights. I'm just not. People in my comments section saying, go back to high school, research something for once. You guys have fun reading the textbook that Ghislaine Maxwell's father wrote for you, okay? Have fun researching other researchers. Basically, all you're doing is regurgitating information from somebody else. You never touched it, sniffed it, felt it, nothing. But moving on. One of the biggest things that I noticed about these aurora lights that we've been spotting is they look nothing like the aurora spots that are regularly sighted in places like Alaska. Can you spot the difference? Can you tell me how on every single one of these pictures there are swirls and lines?
Overnight, brilliant shades of red, green, and purple painted the sky from San Francisco Bay to farmland in Wisconsin. Here's a pilot's view over Chicago.
Now compare those aurora lights to the aurora lights that people see on a regular basis in Alaska. Totally different. The aurora lights we're seeing, do you see how different they are? Almost boring compared to these aurora lights, where there's swirls, multiple colors, lines in the sky, This isn't anything like the ones that we're seeing today. I will say in my comment section, I've seen a lot of people say that wildlife is acting bizarre, their animals are acting weird, they are feeling weird, and I can vouch for that. Almost anybody that I have talked to on this app, whether they are a follower of mine and reached out, or whether they are also another content creator, that I have felt off for the past year. And to be honest with you guys, look at my post, this month has been the worst for me. But you guys tell me, do you guys honestly feel like the northern lights that we have been seeing recently are anything compared to the other places all over the world that see them on a regular basis?
The video you just watched was from right after we discovered that the real Jenna Ortega is gone. The celebrity we all discovered last year is no longer the same at all, and it's shocking. It all started a little before the promo for season 2 of her show. Her appearance had already begun to make people wonder. She had become different, but it was when she showed up in London for the season 2 premiere that we understood something was seriously wrong with her. Look at this. This was Jenna Ortega maybe 2 years ago, before her transformation began. And even here, she still looked like the Jenna we knew. There was still life in her eyes. Her face was alive, with a real personality. But ever since she appeared like this, nothing makes sense anymore. She's lost everything she had. Look at that jaw. I've never seen anything stir up this much talk about a celebrity. Who is transforming all these celebrities this way? Why is he doing it? There's even a leaked video of Jenna Ortega, where you can see her doing what she absolutely shouldn't have done. If you want to see that video before it gets deleted, click on share, then more, and open it in your browser. How can so many people still not see the difference between this Jenna Ortega and the new version of Jenna Ortega? She had exceptional potential, but she chose to destroy her appearance like this. Something serious is happening. We need to know who is in charge of transforming celebrities, because they're getting more and more shocking.
Yes, I am knees, if you please.
Do not look up their account before going to bed. I'm serious. I found this profile completely by accident, and it's honestly one of the most disturbing things I've seen online. They call themselves the Siamese twins, if you will. At first, it looks innocent. Just two girls dancing to random songs, smiling, doing everyday stuff. But the longer you watch, the stranger it gets. In every new video, their height changes. Not a little, dramatically. Sometimes one looks much taller, sometimes shorter, sometimes... Their proportions seem off. People in the comments say they couldn't even finish watching. There's something deeply unsettling about it. Like your brain can't process what's wrong, but it knows something is. Their names are Evelina and Lola. Some claim it's all an illusion, part of a psychological experiment to make viewers feel uneasy without knowing why. Whatever it is, it works. So, would you dare to watch one of their videos all the way to the end?
All this started with a guy named Edward Bernays. He was the guy that invented the term PR, and he changed the term from propaganda to public relations. He's the reason our butter or margarine got dyed yellow. He's the reason that we think bacon is part of an American breakfast, because the pork industry needed to sell more bacon. He's the reason the Department of War was changed to the Department of Defense. He's the reason that women started smoking Virginia Slims back in the 70s, when it was inappropriate for women to smoke. So he organized a parade called Torches of Freedom, where women would go and smoke in the street and just say F you to everybody. So he was the biggest propagandist probably in the last 400 or 500 years in the world. This guy invented all of these processes to shape perception and change how people behave. And he was actually Sigmund Freud's nephew.
Do you know what's higher than AI? I said, what's that? He said, DI. He says the earth does not have artificial intelligence, she has divine intelligence. I designed the earth on feminine technology. Do you want to know why? I said, Lord, I want to know why. He says, because the earth is a she, because she's the first creature I gave the gift of womb to. He said, anything with womb has the divine intelligence to know what to do with seed. When a woman gets pregnant, the husband doesn't have to monitor the growth of the baby, because there's divine intelligence in the womb that knows when to grow the hand, when to grow the other parts. When the baby is ready for release into the earthworm, the womb knows when to break the water. So there is divine intelligence built in the womb.
So we are missing the whole point. What's this?
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list?
And that's the same person. Now watch this in 2025.
I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself.
He killed himself. And watch this body language. He knew that he's fucked up. He knew he's shocked. And you all have to tell me that how this guy went from this. Like now he's here looking very, very good. But look at him. The eyes without soul. It looks like soulless eyes. Tell me what you all think of that. How is this person goes from that pic to here? Let me show you both of these pictures side by side. This is the person before and this is the person now. How is that possible? Look at both of these faces. It's totally changed. It's always the eyes. Eyes never lies. Why is that? Tell me your thoughts and don't forget to share because many more to come. And I don't know if Trump is guilty or not, but I want your thoughts.
MK Ultra programming is real, guys.
Cause a manifestation of my being in the future. You will be asleep in bed. I will be there and watch over you. When you wake, I will not be able to move any part of you. When the doctors eventually find you, they will not see me, but you will, and I'll see you too, forever.
Philip K. Dick was an author. He was born in 1928. He wrote, just a ton of books about the future. But what he did was in his books, he predicted so many technologies that we use today, including AI. He said he was receiving vast amounts of knowledge in all sorts of things, philosophy, theology, and science from something he called VALIS, which stood for Vast Active Living Intelligence System. But in his books, he talked about facial recognition. He predicted the internet in 1969, 3D printing. He fully predicted in his books. He wrote about AI and how it would act and how it could potentially take over. And this is what's crazy. He's a crazy person, right? Well, not as crazy when he's being followed by the FBI and CIA.
Wow. This is confirmed?
Confirmed.
They were following him.
They were tracking him. They bugged his house. The FBI was caught opening his mail one time.
Oh my gosh.
And then he was warned that they were going to raid his house. And he's like, no, there's no way. Sure enough, the CIA came and raided his home, opened his safe, and took all of his documents.
What in the world, bro?
And then he died in 1982, very shortly after discovering that the CIA and FBI were after him.
Yeah, super, super strange.
The Draco are not all powerful. They have been defeated in the past. Over the millennia, the reptilians have been kicked off of our planet. They come back during times of weakness, like after a cataclysm, which is what happened most recently about 12,800 years ago. We had a huge cataclysm which destroyed a civilization that you are familiar with, Atlantis. And this group was keeping the reptilians in check at that time. And after they got flattened, the reptilians came back in force, and we have the mess we have now.
Some of you are not going to be all right if you go to my subscription area and watch the full 5-minute video I did, providing more than just speculation that this is what we think it is. And like I keep saying, it's going in the subscription area until I'm off account warning. And trust me, there's more than speculation in that video. Now I'll just let you watch as one of them seamlessly, down to the teeth and hairline and eye placement and chin shape, switch back and forth from one into the other. And I don't know if they're shapeshifters or if he got prosthetic surgery done. I don't know. But what I do know is they're one and the same. And like I said, go to the subscriber area. There's dozens of videos there with more detail than I put into the general population area. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think that people play other people. Nah, that's ridiculous. Entertainment only.
Oh, who are you? What are you doing? That's a skinwalker, guaranteed.
This video was filmed by tourists in broad daylight on the streets of India, and what they saw still haunts them. At first glance, the woman looks strange, but nothing supernatural until she starts to walk. If you look closely, you'll notice she's not very tall, but it's not just her appearance that unsettles people. The real horror begins when she moves. Her walk is completely unnatural, her arms and legs moving in ways that don't look human. The tourists claimed that instead of feet, she had something like animal paws, and when viewers watched the video, creepy theories began to spread. Some said she was the embodiment of an ancient Indian goddess. Others swore her movements looked shockingly similar to Michael Jackson's, and a few believed she was something not of this world.
How many times you got to hear Trump say
the central casting?
What do you think that means? What do you think? What is Donald Trump's motive to constantly say, not once, a billion times, central casting, central casting. Look at this guy, central casting, central casting. And I'm gonna go on a limb here. I don't believe in the whole assassination thing. I see the professional wrestling game. It's professional wrestling. They script it, you play the bad guy, we're gonna fight in public, we do our photo op, then we give it to the public, and then we control their emotions. You get this side, and you guys get this side. And that's what they do. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I couldn't stand what was happening before him, but I do watch from a distance all of it.
If NASA really went to the moon, how did they come back? There was no launching pad, no missiles, and no other equipment. Think about it. On Earth, we need massive fuel tanks, reinforced pads, countdown towers, and a whole team sweating behind screens. But on the moon, we're told a tiny metal cabin, sitting on dusty ground with legs thinner than a street sign pole, somehow fired itself upward with perfect precision. No blast crater, no scorch marks, no backup system. And the surface dust, completely undisturbed in the photos. No launch tower, no external support, no robotic arms guiding it upward. Just a box on legs that magically breaks free from lunar gravity, reunites with a craft racing around the moon, and then glides everyone back home like a Sunday road trip. Now imagine this same situation happening anywhere else, like someone claiming they drove a car out of a ditch without wheels, ramps, or even an engine. Would you believe it? The story sounds smooth until you zoom in, pause, and actually look. That's when the questions start stacking, and suddenly the official version feels more like a script than a memory. Hit the page and check out the next one. Trust me, once you start seeing details like this, you can't unsee them.
We need to go way back to the era of gigantism, where there were birds so large that they were said across the world to pick up elephants, to fly elephants high up into the atmosphere and then drop them so that they would crack like an egg on the ground, and they would have the pieces and bring the pieces back to their nest. Griffins were also said to do something similar, but this is how large these birds from antiquity. Carrying an elephant, this was known as the rook, or the rock in modern English. There's also another one up here, as you can see. This one's carrying an elk or something. I've talked about these giant birds and their ability to carry very large animals, and I've been met with some people who don't believe that that's possible. I'm telling you it is possible, and I've shared videos of modern birds carrying around deers and lambs and goats and stuff, flying around with them in the air.
I just about had a fucking heart attack. I'm working upstairs in this house. I come around the corner to go downstairs and shut the door off. There's that mannequin, dude. Jesus Christ.
What is this? Do you work for the chicken shop? Do you work at the chicken shop? Is this meat? This ain't meat, is it? Is this for consumers? Is this for consumers?
This is for pizza.
Pizza? Pizza. Okay, so you're not going to pick that up and pull it back onto the base?
No.
No?
It's going to go on top of each.
to maintain the heat.
Okay. And the food goes inside here?
It goes under the oven. It doesn't go straight there.
Okay, okay. I need to see the consumer's rights. I need to see the consumer rights.
What do you mean consumer rights?
I just don't like how this stuff is on the floor and then, you know, you're trying to attach it back and then you're pulling it in there and you're part of the chicken shop. So I just need to see the consumer rights. You don't have the consumer rights. Well, I need to shut you down. Yeah, I need to shut you down. You need to stop this immediately. Can I go inside as well, please? Can I go inside as well to see? Why not? I cannot leave. I'm here for the betterment of the people. Where are you taking the fluff? Where's the fluff going? You're not going to attach it back to the base, are you?
No, this is going, it's not going in the base. Okay?
It's not going to the base?
If you don't know this, please
Yeah.
don't talk.
Okay, that's why I'm asking the question, because I'm here for the protection of the people, because people eat this food, and I don't know, you don't eat the food. Do you eat the food?
Yes, we do eat the food.
You eat the food?
Without selling food, what do you mean? Thank you.
I think you're lying, though. I think you're lying.
Shut it down immediately.
You won't believe what this CCTV captured. Two men in New York were walking down the street. At first, it looked like they were just two regular people taking a walk. But after zooming in, something seemed very off. Their faces looked really odd. The ears were strange, and their eyes looked distorted, almost like they weren't from this world. You might argue that if they really weren't human, then why were they walking so openly? But if you look closely, the street was completely empty at that time. Maybe they could shapeshift, and since no one was around to see them, they let their real forms slip for a moment, not realizing a camera was recording everything. A man named Li Ying shared this strange video of his wife on Instagram. He thought it would be fun to record her because of the face mask she had applied, but the camera captured something unexpected. Suddenly, she turned her head and flicked out an unnaturally long tongue, just like a lizard. Watch this shocking moment again. After seeing the video, viewers said she might be a reptilian in disguise. But Li Ying said he'd been living with her for 10 years and nothing like this had ever happened before.
Your DNA is a right-handed double helix made up of these four things right here. And the helix is held together by sulfuric bonds that appear after every 10 pairs of nucleotides, every 5 pairs of nucleotides, every 6 pairs of nucleotides, and again, every 5 pairs of nucleotides. 10-5-6-5, 10-5-6-5, or in the Hebrew alphabet, Yod He Vav He, the signature of your creator, the signature of an artist under his painting, if you will. Now, the magic potion, if you actually read the patents, it is adding a triple helix. And it is adding more of this, which comes from a meteorite or a fallen star. And this 10-5-6-5, Yod He Vav He, the signature of your creator, quickly turns into 10-5-6-6-6-5. Do I have your attention yet?
If space agencies can track a comet millions of miles away, down to the exact second it passes a star, then why can't they show us Earth spinning live right now? No cuts, no edits, no CGI, just one clean, continuous shot. Think about that. If they can follow a rock flying through space at impossible speeds, why does showing the planet we actually live on feel so hard? This isn't about conspiracies, it's about consistency, because something here doesn't line up, and the reason why could change the way we see everything. NASA says Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour. Satellites orbit at 17,000. Yet they can lock onto a comet billions of miles away perfectly. But when it comes to filming Earth, the feed buffers, the camera recalibrates, the footage loops. Now picture this, a live shot of Earth, fully in view, spinning naturally, clouds drifting, shadows moving, night falling across continents in real time. One shot, no breaks, no edits. Wouldn't that end every question instantly? So, why haven't we seen it? ISS cameras, cropped, always facing one way. Weather satellites, stitched photos, not live, and that famous blue marble from 1972, older than most people's parents. With billions in funding and 8K cameras everywhere, Shouldn't a live Earth in motion stream be the easiest thing to show? Yet somehow it's not. It's strange that we can see everything out there, but almost nothing of our own planet. Look closely next time. The clouds repeat. The light never truly shifts. The shadows don't move like a real sun. Almost like it's a loop. And then it hits you. If we can stream a billionaire's face from Mars in HD, but not show a continuous spinning Earth, what are we really looking at? Maybe this isn't about footage at all. Maybe it's about perspective. Because showing Earth as a perfect spinning sphere might raise questions about clouds, about curves, about horizons that never quite bend the way we expect. It's not proof of anything, but it is proof that something's strange. So here's the question to end your night. If they can track a comet in the dark, a rock we'll never touch, but can't show one live, uncut video of the planet we're standing on, what does that tell you? Maybe the truth isn't above us. Maybe it's right beneath our feet. So what do you think? Impossible or just inconvenient? Drop your theory in the comments. Share this with someone who's never looked twice. And follow for the next question they don't want you asking. This video is for entertainment purposes.
It's always in that smell. There's like this musky smell. Not musty, but musky smell that you smell from demonic attachments. If you have like a spiritual eye, you can also see the shade of them, like the shade of that entity on these people, by the way. Like, it is so hard to not see it. But again, if you don't have spiritual eyes, you're not gonna see it. But demonic attachments or entities have a very specific look.
That's a grown man, by the way. Are you the same way?
In that 1995 meeting in Beverly Hills in the home of Clyde Davis, who was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston, I said it. His days are numbered. And there were rappers there from all over the country. They were invited to the home of Clyde Davis, along with members of the CIA, FBI, which they didn't understand why the government was there, including many directors and CEOs of the private prisons throughout the United States was at that meeting in the mansion of Clyde Davis. And they were telling these rappers, you need to create songs talking about killing police, calling black women bees and hoes. You need to get more nasty so we can fill our prisons that we're building. Okay.
You know what's crazy during that time? I can recall when that gangster music came into play.
That's it.
And how they, you know, I don't know if the guys rapping it really knew, but they created the atmosphere.
Yes.
But it went from, I remember guys wanting to wear like the African chains around their neck
Yes.
and dancing and the haircuts, flat tops, Kid and Play,
Flat top, yeah.
Kwame, to the really thugged out and
Yes.
just the gang stuff. And I can recall going into like liquor stores or different places and all they had was blue and red rags.
Right.
It was just like that stuff was on programmed.
Mm-hmm.
Little closer.
Yeah? You wanna hold my hand?
This video revealed that one of the most famous women of all time, Anne Hathaway, might be the reincarnation of an old celebrity. People say that Anne Hathaway and her husband Adam might be the reincarnation of two figures who wrote history. Here is William Shakespeare, and now look at Anne's husband. Look how much they resemble each other. This first piece of evidence is already very suspicious, but it's far from over. Now guess what Shakespeare's wife was called? Anne Hathaway. That's an even stranger coincidence, but here's what she looked like. Now look, if I show you the two Anne Hathaways side by side. You can't tell me they don't look alike. It really seems like they're the same person. But how can two people living 400 years apart look so much alike? The theory says they wanted to reincarnate in order to come back, mainly so that his wife could be famous in this life. The idea was that she could perform freely, since women weren't allowed to act in the 16th century. And when you observe Anne, you can clearly see she has an almost old-fashioned air about her. She speaks and behaves like someone who might have lived several centuries ago. The piece of information that could confirm this theory theory is that Anne Hathaway was born exactly on the same day, down to the date, as the 400th wedding anniversary of Shakespeare and Anne. All this can't just be a simple coincidence. What do you think?
This is much harder than it looks. I spent 20 years trying to learn it, and I'm still working on it.
Was it a trick, or was he puking all over the stage?
I did one video on artificial intelligence in the Bible, and people started acting crazy. So here are a couple of explanations in scriptures. First of all, you have to read the scripture with the right mindset, because many of the men of the Old Testament were given visions about the time that we live in. They were looking into the future at a modern society and did not have the vocabulary to explain what they saw, so they had to use the terms of that day to explain what they were seeing in a vision in our day. For example, the Apostle John was given a vision of warfare in the future. He didn't know what a helicopter was, so he said it looks like a grasshopper. He said its wings roar like the sound of many horses galloping. That's the sound a helicopter would make. He also said that this grasshopper had the ability to shoot snakes that had fire in their tails. Well, that's what a missile would look like to somebody 2,000 years ago who was looking into the future. You can find that in Revelation 9:7-10 and Revelation 9:18-19. In Daniel 12:4, the angel told Daniel that his vision of end-time events would happen when people would move with speed and there would be an explosion of knowledge. An angel could not tell him it would be a time of technology and it would be a time of artificial intelligence, because that did not exist back then. So he had to simply say men will move with speed and there'll be an explosion of knowledge. What he was talking about was a time of technology and the rise of AI. In Revelation 13, John said he was looking 2,000 years in the future. He said he saw men create a statue. He watched them give the statue life, which is electricity, and then the statue had the ability to speak. When a man is looking into the future, he doesn't know that this is a robot. He thinks it's a statue. But what he said about the statue is that when they brought it to life, the statue was the one who gave the command for everyone to receive the mark 666. That's found in Revelation chapter 13. Hit the follow button for more.
Tablet is the oldest single written record in human history, period. The myth of Adapa is considered the first Sumerian tablet that's ever been recorded in terms of for its age. It's one of the oldest tablets ever written to mankind, and it tells us profound things.
This is the oldest written document in history.
Yes, the myth of Adapa. It's the very beginning of everything. Now, what's really interesting here are a couple things. Number one, did you see that he says he was been created as chief among men?
Right.
That he's basically perfect. Remember, like the description of Adam?
Yep.
Okay, now this is the line that really brings it home, though. The most wise among the Anunnaki.
The most wise among the Anunnaki was he.
So what it's saying is that the first man, the first perfect man, named Adapa, the first great sage from a city called Eridu, the first city ever created, that he's considered the most wise among the Anunnaki. So what does that mean for us? We are the Anunnaki. We are them. We just don't remember anything, and we don't have any of the gifts anymore. They're trying to tell us that we started in a place where not only was he the most wise, but it's described even further. If you go to the Nag Hammadi scriptures, the secret book of John, it talks about how Enlil became jealous over how perfect man was,
Mm-hmm.
and then deliberately threw him into, that's what it says, threw him into a lower form of existence
Wow.
to trap him. So we were created by powerful fractals of source that are like omnipotent creator gods, right? And amongst them, we were created in such perfection that we were more wise and more potentially more powerful than even they are. And because of jealousy by the gods, by them, specifically Enlil, he creates an entire world and hides us in a veil of war and deception and confusion to lock us in an eternity to never remember who we really are.
That's powerful, bro. So we are them.
Yes. And we have all the gifts they have. We just don't remember or have them unlocked yet. We are, now look at how we're perceived in the world today, how we're taught, right? Darwinianism, we're just a survival of the fittest species that's destroying everything around it. And we got here only because we got smart and the luck of the draw. It's the complete opposite of that. We're like a divine being of the universe. So what are we doing killing each other and doing all these horrible things? Do you know what happens when someone kills someone?
No. What happens?
They are the judges of all. You ever seen in Egypt where they show a feather, the symbol or the analogy of it? Like,
Still going.
Damn, we can't even do justice.
What is that though? You see how it went through the like?
What is that?
Bro, I want to get the. Where is that? Where's it at? The telescope at?
It's in the office. What is that? Is that a rocket? But why is it so?
It doesn't look. It looks littler though, and it's just all on fire. You feel me? That's too much. They're doing it at night for a reason. You hear me?
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And you just said you saw a shooting star a second ago?
No, that was the shooting star.
That you thought?
Yeah.
What? And it's still going up?
Uh-oh, it's gonna fall.
No. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually crazy. Is it not?
It just disappeared.
Probably out of here by now, babe. It done went into a whole nother. Look,
Oh, I see.
still moving. It's still going up right now. Is that not crazy? You see it moving?
Yeah.
What the f is that? What is that? Baby, am I high, bro?
No. I'm scared. It looks like it's coming down.
What the fuck is that?
It looks like it's coming down.
Bro, please tell me I'm high, bro. Like, am I high?
No. What the?
All right, come on. Let's go.
Wait, what is that?
I don't know, but let's go.
When you go to the hospital and you have your baby at the hospital, you basically telling this company, America, that you are not able to take care of your baby. You don't possess the medical needs to bring it into this world and you need help. So they let you have the baby in the hospital, but you have to sign the baby over to the corporation. That's what a birth certificate is. So when your mama sign off on the birth certificate, when your dad signs off on the birth certificate, they signed you over to the company. Now, this is why they are called parents, because they are paying rent. Parent. They are paying rent to the government, all right? To babysit you, but you belong to the company. That's why if somebody was to come and harm you, it's not gonna say motherfucking the United, it's not gonna say, okay, say somebody come harm you and they last name Jones. It's not gonna say Jones versus, say your last name Smith. It's not gonna say Jones versus Smith, nigga. It's gonna say Jones versus the United States, nigga. Cause you harmed the property of this country.
Look what's inside. It's not just wiring. That's a nerve cluster. A bundled spine of signal veins, phone, Wi-Fi, surveillance. Every one of us is pulsing through these lines. This isn't just a street corner. It's a neural node for the whole city grid. And it's wide open. No lock, no warning, just humming. Passing your data down the line like livestock. And the wild part, they paint over it with sunshine and stripes. Make it look friendly, make it look pride. But that upside down star, it's real inversion, guys.
That's just crazy work.
I'm sorry, I've never seen crows chase after a car.
Are you seeing this? What? Are you seeing this right now? Crows are literally hovering. What the Are you seeing this? What is going on? What is going on? They're following him. Look. They're literally following him. Look. What?
Actually, long term, the AI is going to be in charge, to be totally frank, not humans. If artificial intelligence vastly exceeds the sum of human intelligence, it is difficult to imagine that any humans will actually be in charge. So we just need to make sure the AI is friendly. Yep. Was that the question? Go ahead, sure.
So there are different realms of different realities within the astral, different planes of existence. You kind of need to just breathe through that vast transition. You're going through the area that in Spiritism is considered to be the realm of suffering souls. You go through not so positive beings. After this will come the celestial court, which we often have more etheric and light beings. Beings that our translation of them more so resembles elements in nature that we know. The next one will be the angelic court, where we have angels, archangels, seraphim, cherubim. After that, we have oraculous realms. In the oracles, we have Hindu deities and gods. Another one which is called the causal plane, where you have calculators, weavers, lords of karma. A lot of the paintings of Alex Gray, many of them are the causal plane. And then we have in between, kind of close to the causal plane, what a lot of people see machinery. So that's the machinery.
Oh, so that's a thing, the machines.
Completely. That's a realm.
Yeah.
In kind of the center of all of this, there's a cartoon realm. It's not that they are like that, but that's how the brain is able to interpret what we see. So it looks very cartoony. So these are different layers. And as we go through them, what would be scary for you, your first ceremony, in ceremony 50, you wish you go there.
How did meteorologists know 7 days in advance that Hurricane Harvey was going to go where it went and sit there for 3 days? How could they possibly know that? These people are reading scripts, Tucker. They're literally reading scripts passed down to them by Raytheon, private defense contractors Raytheon and Lockheed Martin, that are neck deep in climate engineering, everything, patents, operations, everything. And they literally supply and provide the quote forecast, which is the scheduled weather, to the National Weather Service and NOAA, our nation's weathermen. That passes all the way down. And local meteorologists simply, they know how long their leash is. They're protecting their paychecks and pensions. They toe the line as well, just like the safe and effective in the medical community. Everybody just toes the line because they don't want to disrupt their personal paradigm. These storms are being steered and manipulated, period. That's beyond dispute.
Why does it have a decapitation setting?
I just found out there's a restaurant chain in the United States that if you connect the dots on the map of where these restaurant locations are, it forms pentagrams in 7 different cities. Now, I don't like using ChatGPT, but I had to ask it one question. What are the odds of a restaurant chain in the United States making the restaurants on the map make up pentagrams in 7 different cities across the states? One word answer only: astronomical. The restaurant chain in question? Outback Steakhouse. You may be thinking, this one in New York City is just a coincidence. It's surely not a recurring theme here. Here's another one in Indianapolis. Pentagram, upside down. Here's another one in Florida. shaping a pentagram. And there's even more. At this point, the odds of that being in one city maybe are extremely low, but multiple are absolutely insane. So then, who owns Outback Grill Restaurant Action Steakhouse? Well, their parent company, I did some digging, is Bloomin' Brands. So then you gotta follow the money. Who owns Bloomin' Brands? And are they satanic? Of course, we gotta ask. Well, I was just shocked to find out that its largest shareholder is Vanguard. Now, you may be thinking, is Vanguard a company that is interested in the longevity, health, and prosperity of the world, and into organicness, and into healthy things, and into making water and air and food clean and pure and prosperous humanity? I'm not so sure. Do they get together in back rooms and shady deals under the table? I don't know. I'm not saying they are, but I mean, how many people go to Bohemian Grove who are probably involved in this frickin' group? And have any of them been to that island? I don't know these things, but all I know is what the Sam Dam is with the orientation of these pentagrams. And further, what might be in the food? I can tell you, if I made an organic restaurant chain company, I would form the shapes of a torus field, the Fibonacci sequence. The pentagram's the last shape I would pick. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
$100 million each, according to this lady, the definitive authority on the nation's biggest true crime stories. The families of Xana, Ethan, Maddie, and Kaylee are planning to sue the Washington State University for $100 million per victim because of perhaps someone knew about it beforehand and kept it to themselves. Does it sound like monetization of the unalivings of their own children to the maximum, or is it a brilliant move to get the truth? Because if it really goes to court, do you really think the University of Washington will just pay for a flawed case like this, where more stories than facts have been presented? I think the WSU doesn't care how high the lawsuit is if they prove that they have the wrong person in BK.
Ok, vuelvo a grabar. Ahorita si se dan cuenta las luces ya están apagadas. Vuelvo a grabar porque esto pasa muy... ¿Viste? O sea, mira, vamos a pensar. Son 10:35. Ahorita ya no debe de haber nadie. No voy a poner ni pausa ni nada. Ajá. Tú lo escuchaste. Yo lo escuché. Tú lo... O sea... Veamos, esa fue una, ¿no? La otra, tú escuchaste las subidas de escaleras, como si corrieran. No voy a poner pausa porque la neta, me llaman loco, me dicen es el aire, me dicen son tus energías, me dicen madre y media, pero, mira, no estoy loco. No estoy loco. Está cerrado. Está cerrado. Digo, si lo fuerzo no quiero romperlo, pero... No mames. Hey, y si se escucha la música, sí, porque yo no tengo control de la música. Llamarte. Ok. La verdad es que estoy muy nervioso, ¿no? O sea, se me pone la piel chinita. No sé si es mi subconsciente o no, pero yo ya lo estoy sintiendo así como lo escucho. Bueno, no lo escucho, lo siento, ¿no? Es como... No, o sea... mi madre. Me dicen en los comentarios, ignóralo, ¿no? Ignóralo y bueno, vamos a tratar de... De su puta madre. Ay, no, ya.
I don't know. Are you okay? Oh my, dude, you look like you already been embalmed. Are you okay?
My girlfriend come by and she just abused me.
Dad, I'm sure it was sexually.
Hell,
Ain't that what you wanted?
I thought it was.
Dad, are you?
Now I'm not so sure. Help me.
Boy, you look like you've been laying in a casket for about damn 32 cold hours.
She laid me out. She said, lay still a minute. And then I lost it.
She sucked the man's soul from his body.
The first 9 stones on the breastplate of Lucifer, Tyrus, the first stone is Sardis, S. The second stone is Taurus, T. Wait a minute now. And the third stone is Diamond, STD. Wait a minute now. So when I say STD, that's sexually transmitted diseases. That's the nature of Tyrus, who is the alter ego of Lucifer. So wait a minute now. So these are demonic codes that I am decoding here today and getting back to Julia Farnese portraying Christ and her daughter portraying John. We've been lied to. The building in which the Last Supper painting was painted by Da Vinci was nowhere located in Jerusalem or Palestine. It was located near Tuscany, Italy, called the Maria del Grazie. The Maria del Grazie during that time period was a homosexual brothel, a lesbian brothel, and a brothel for the trafficking of children. So wait a minute, in my mind, why would Leonardo da Vinci create a fraudulent Last Supper? Last Supper took place in the Gospels, but not the way that Da Vinci created it. Inside of a homosexual brothel, the Maria del Grazie, which was used as a lesbian brothel in the brothel of child trafficking, with a woman who happened to be the side piece of Pope Alexander VI, Julia Farnese with a G, and on her right-hand side, which would be to the left when you look at the painting, is not John, is Laura Farnese. And the rest of these people are not who are not the true apostles or the Medici or Orsini colonels in the Farnese dynasty. We've been lied to, okay? And even the Shroud of Turin, that's not the face of Christ. That's Cesare Borgia, AKA, okay, Salvador Mundi. We've been lied to. So these 13 families, from the Rothschilds to the Farnese family, these are the ones who are the crab barrel masters. They are the crab barrel owners. So they choose men and women of color, the talented 10th, to be a part of a secret society that is really not known to the masses of Black Americans nor the Black diaspora, the Boule Secret Society. And let me tell you how evil these people are. Not one Black organization, not one, has ever been created by Black people.
I mean, I've had directors do much worse things than that. I've had directors straight up casting couch offer me at auditions before. I mean, that shit really just, that straight up infuriated me. So, well, I mean, I was at an audition for a film. I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name the movie. I'm not going to name the director. Big time director who's had serious issues with what I'm talking about. And I went in and read for the movie, and the guy said to me, "What do you think about the casting couch?" The fucking words came out of his mouth. I couldn't believe it. I said, "What did you say?" And he goes, And I go, I mean, it just really annoyed me. I said what I said, and I walked out. I didn't even audition, and I said something pretty mean, and then I left. But it just pissed me off, man. It just ticked me off. What kind of power is that? Who the fuck do you think you are? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Are you just in here looking for people that are willing to do that so you can take advantage of people? I mean, what are we talking about here, man? It infuriates me. And then I've also worked with directors that, I mean, again, I don't want to name names, but this guy was a very well-known director, known for directing crazy independent films, and he got all wrapped up and dragged into the Me Too, rightfully so. And I was in one of his movies, one of the leads in one of his movies, and I was in the casting office, and he was bringing in actresses, and he goes, Willie, watch this, watch this, watch this. I said, dude, I got to get out of here. I don't want to. I should have done more. I'm ashamed of myself for not sticking up for the people, but instead I just removed myself from the situation. I don't know, man. You know, I was a young actor. I did at the time. When you're a young actor in Hollywood, at the time in the early 2000s or late 90s or whatever the hell it was, the high end, the bigger the director, the actors, you just didn't cross these guys. You just didn't do it. But I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I did. That's a big regret that I have, is that instead of sticking up for those actors, I just said, I don't want to be a part of this, and I checked out. But, you know.
Close the door. Now, I can't make this up. I send him out to get spaghetti and some other ingredients, and he gets everything but the spaghetti. And tell me again why you didn't get the spaghetti?
They only had the hard kind.
Okay, so you realize that that's how spaghetti is, how it comes, and then you have to boil water to cook it to make it soft?
That's what I just said.
Okay, I'm done.
You can probably get a check from him once a month.
He started coming in, and I've seen this darkness on him. And his cousin was like, yo, because his cousin lived with us, and he was like, yo, is it just me? Or like my cousin, when he come in, it's like this dark feeling that he brings in. I always feel presence, not in my home, but I would always feel a presence whenever I'm at somewhere. But I'm going to sleep every night, and a presence is coming in my room. I feel it. It was happening for like a whole week, so I called my pastor, and I said, I keep feeling like it's a presence coming in my room, and I'm thinking it's my kids, but I don't see anything. She said, start to say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So I just kept saying that every time, and I could tell it left. But I was like, am I bugging, or is something really coming in here? So 30 days in, like a month, I'm laying down. My kids is always up at night. They're playing music. I feel the presence come in, but I'm thinking it's my son, because that's what it feels like. Because I'm half asleep. That's what I feel, and I'm like, you know, when somebody come in your room, you know.
You know exactly.
They hit me on my foot, so I'm like, because my foot was out the cover, so I'm like, why Xavier playing with me? I come out the cover, and it's a Spanish man with his hair slicked back, looking at me with this smirk I will never forget. He was like, ah! Like, I was like, this is a spirit? I was like, what the hell? And then when I threw my cover up, like, you know how you get out the bed, and he was still there. So I ran to my door, and I was like, Xavier's a man in my room. He said he ran in my room, and there's nothing there. He was like, come on, Ma, you saw a spirit? I said, no. It looked like I saw him clear. I was like, this was a man. Like, and then we started thinking, I was like, this is the dead of winter. I'm on the second floor. You would have heard the screen open. You would have heard him jump out my window. I said, this was different. I called a pastor. She said, I'm coming up with a prayer warrior. I'm not going to tell her nothing. I'm just going to come up, and we're going to pray. She came in, this old woman. She just came. Hi, how you doing? My kids was in school. She said, let's hold hands and pray downstairs. When she was finished, there's this big picture of me and X on the wall. She was like, is that your husband? I said, yeah. She's like, she looked around. She said, there's a woman that he's with. She said, are you with him? I said, no, we're separated. She said, there's a woman that he's with. She sent a warlock here.
Wow.
I was like, what? What is a warlock? She said, it's a head witch. I said, why? We're not even together. She said, because the power of a praying wife is there's no prayer like that. She said, and they want to put fear in your spirit so you could stop praying for him. Because I was praying, bind us together. You know what I'm saying? Come against any evil spirits. Like I was praying, fasting, turned down my plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they were mad. They said, no, we got to shut her down.
You were still invested.
I was still invested because I was like, okay, maybe I could deal with it this way. Everybody's telling me that, you know, God is the strongest. He's the highest. He's this and that. Prayer works. You know what I'm saying? Because it was early on in now I'm a prayer warrior. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play with me. I'm ready. Like, what's up? Like, so when that happened, though, I was like, she said, listen, they will never be able to come back here. Read Psalms 27, 37, and 91 for 30 days. She said they will never be able to walk back in this house because it was like one of those like castor projecting. When I tell you that was the beginning of my power in God, I stopped eating for 30 days and I just did water. If I felt faint, I'll drink a little orange juice. When I tell I was walking my house over my kids, I got oil. I was like, you can never, I mean, when I tell you it was like I was fighting, but the thing is, right then and there though, I realized that he really was in too deep. And I know the devil's real.
And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.